So welcome to the first podcast for 4th and 3 Dudes. Bernie, Cord, and I took some time to see how this is going to work out. Had quite a few technical difficulties to start out, but hopefully it'll still be entertaining enough that you might want to come back and listen again. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, well, welcome to the first podcast for 4th and 3 Dudes. I am Chris Nama. Here in Peachtree Corners, Georgia. Graduated from the University of Georgia back in, I guess, 92 and 94. And one of my other co-hosts, Bernie, Chris Burnett. Go ahead, man.
Hey, Bernie, Chris Burnett from St. Mary's, Georgia. Recently moved down here from the Atlanta area and two-time dog graduate and proud to be here. Cord.
Yes, I'm Cord, 3-year Letterman from Roswell. And this is excruciating so far.
Okay, it has not been.
I am glad to be here.
Yeah, this hadn't been the cleanest start to episode 1 of the podcast, but hey.
Yeah, we're like 54 minutes in.
54 minutes in, and we only got about a minute of tape. But anyway, that's all good. That's how these things go sometimes. But the first thing we can do is we're going to belly up to the bar and talk about our drinks of the week. I myself.
Wait a minute. I don't even see a spread for the Beaver game. This is outrageous.
Cord, you can't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead in the show notes.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
We've got to have. It's got to be. Can't be anarchy. Can't be anarchy.
Follow the lead.
But I'm starting off with, again, since we got the Georgia game this weekend, starting off with Creature Comforts Automatic. Always a solid choice. We're down the bottom of it. We'll be going to my next drink in a minute. But what you working on, Bernie?
In a hot minute. Yeah, that's probably their best IPA. That's my opinion. I'm going, I'm a bourbon drinker, so I'm going with E.H. Taylor.
You got the whole bottle? Just put a straw in.
I had an hour for you to get connected.
Well, so, I don't know why you guys would think, you could just start running the 400 without stretching.
We had a planning session last night. It didn't work. Anyway,
well, an hour ago I was at Old Blind Dog throwing down pints of scofflaw with Lucy.
Well, again, maybe that's why it took you so long to get connected. But again,
no, that was not the reason. It was definitely a loose nut behind the wheel.
So what are you drinking, or was it just the scofflaws earlier at Old Blind Dog?
Yeah, hydrating. University of Dayton. Go Flyers.
Go
Flyers. Well, it's good to be here.
Yep. All right. So getting into the preview of the this week's games. First of all, we got Georgia versus Clemson. We're doing one of the old rivalry from way back that Georgia's got a good 43-18-4 lead in. But again, we're going to be having entertaining Clemson at Mercedes-Benz, and it's going to be a really good game. But what are some of your initial thoughts about the game, Bernie?
Why is it at a neutral field?
Because it's a kickoff classic and money.
Chick-fil-A. He said
that's only a 14-point game.
No, it's less than that. I got it for 13.
Yeah, it's back up to 14 now, or 13 and a half, I think.
I got 13 and a half right now.
Okay. Well, I do think it's going to be.
That's the lock of the week.
Well, while we're waiting on Cord, I told Nama, I said I talked to my mom on the way home. I'm raised in Athens, but raised from a Clemson family, and I think this is going to be closer to the Oregon opener in the Dome than it was to the Charlotte version 2021.
All right, so you gotta refresh my memory.
Yeah, so we I know you want to harp on Oregon, but in 2021 we opened with Clemson in Charlotte, and it was a close game. And my mom said, "This game is over already. Y'all are going to win." But I think it's going to be closer than that. I just think we have the depth that we need. We have the playmakers we need, and obviously Carson Beck. I really like our offensive line. I think they have the overall experience and they need to push Clemson around. Clemson's got a great defensive line, but we'll see. I think it could go to four quarters.
Carson Beck's going to throw it over their heads. 45-21. 45-17.
17?
45-17, Georgia.
I think it's less. Well, okay. We're going on predictions. I'll say 38-13. So, but yeah, I do like Georgia. I agree
told
with
you,
Ford.
lock of the week.
Lock of the week. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to bet the Buick on that one.
Wait, the Buick's still running?
Well, yeah, $5.
All right. Yeah, no, I
Should
guess
be a good game.
Yeah.
A good send off to the week 1 of college football. What you got, Nama?
No, I mean, again, going back to the game from 2021 or whatever, but JT Daniels supposed to be stepping in as the end-all be-all quarterback, which I definitely was not. But I mean, again, thank goodness, what was Chris Smith? They got the intercepted Uyungale, took it to the house
Pick
to
six.
get the pick six to secure that victory. But I mean, again, I think Carson Beck is more that generational talent as quarterback. Hopefully, that's going to go ahead and start off the season well for us, and I think make a pretty good statement. I mean, again, going with predictions, I'm thinking more 42-14 or something like that. When we bring in some of the second, third string defense later, they might get a couple of touchdowns at the end. But
Lock of the week, I told you.
I know. Well, still, that still works.
Where
We're all
Dabo
heavy on the dogs.
didn't believe in the portal or something like that and got burned. No.
Well, I mean, again,
He's never believed in it. Yeah.
right. He doesn't believe in it. I think they're starting to work a little more with NIL now. But I mean, again, they're still producing pretty good teams. But I mean, again, they got to get off of the 3 losses a year kind of thing. So I was listening to that this morning on the radio talking about whether or not Clemson's still an elite program. And I mean, they still are putting up a bunch of wins, but they're not back at the point where they're, again, having just a 1 or 0 losses in the season or things like that, where they don't have as much room for error.
That's a question mark, I think, for him this game, because, if he doesn't win this game, then I think it really shines out that he needs to start, going to the transfer portal, and those national championships are going to start to fade because this is a new area, which we'll talk about later. But
all these teams are not built.
Right, exactly.
And he's old school, and he wants to do it old school. And it's like when Saban called on Lane Kiffin to run his offense because the SEC's offenses were changing, and he needed something new. Same situation. I mean, I hate it for him, and I respect Dabo, and I agree with him, but it's not going to happen.
2024.
I don't know.
I want to see Clemson, Georgia Tech.
Is that happening this year?
Are they playing? That would be a good game.
I mean,
ACC is a sham conference anyway. That's quoting Bernie, but just saying.
According to Bernie and most people that are SEC fans, but
I assume they're playing. I would think they're playing, but I don't even know who's playing the SEC. I mean, it's chaos. It's I would describe this. We always equate the start of college football as Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and this is that Christmas, so you're not really sure you're going to get what you want, but it's going to be Christmas, so it's okay. But I'm against the expanded playoff. I'm definitely against all these, Cal going to Wake Forest.
I'm all for it. Send them east.
Random volleyball game on a Tuesday night. But I tell you what I am for, the one I'm looking forward to this season is the Pac-2. So tell us about how the Pac-2, which they're still called the Pac-12, but what does the Pac-2 look like, Cord?
Well, I tell you what, it looks like 2 juggernauts. And winner takes all.
And it's Oregon State and Washington State.
That is correct.
Okay.
The two orphans.
It's like an arm wrestling contest. I mean, it's just 2 people.
Yeah, and then like all the zombies, came and took all their starters. And then the coach left. I'm glad we have a school and a stadium still.
Weird times.
It is
weird. It's just situation normal.
So I know they're starting off with Idaho State this year, but I mean, again, mean, how is it? Do you think the team's going to look? I know it's a whole bunch of Mountain
New
West
coach, new
Conference,
quarterback.
Mountain West people transferring in, and high school.
Yeah. So I saw their linebackers. They posted a picture. I'm like, you really can't tell much from a picture. But quarterbacks, we got Goldbranson. He's like a fifth year, and he was 7-1 when we were using him before DJ showed up. But then I just read that McCoy from Idaho beat him out to start. I have no idea who's running. We lost Martinez to Miami, and then a lot of receivers left. I mean, it was a garage sale. So they've landed a lot of kids, but we won't know until we know. Thankfully,
and a lot of that had to do with a lot of that was a transfer portal and also the coach leaving from Michigan State.
It started with the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like rumor has it he was planning on leaving, 3 games or 4 games before he announced it or something like that.
Right.
So
saw the writing on the wall with the conference falling apart.
Well, yeah, and he was allegedly talking to his agent on the phone on the sidelines. Who knows? But he did announce he had an agent during an interview before he announced it. I'm like, well, why is he paying this agent all this money if this is his top job at his top city at his top school?
Right.
So that didn't make sense. And next thing you know, all his Oregon State's gear at the Goodwill.
So seriously, in all seriousness, I mean, it's 2 schools. So y'all play each other in the season. Does that determine the conference championship, or is there something else down the line? I mean, just this year, what does it look like?
From what I was looking at, the playoffs, the Pac-12 is not part of that, power conference. So
Right.
I think the only way they would get in is if they were ranked in the top 12.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
whoever wins that game might get into the playoffs.
I don't even think the Pac-12 is considered in that.
Well, not as an automatic bid. Not as an automatic bid, no.
Right, right. So they would have to be ranked in the top 12 to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That's just weird. It's chaos. It's crazy.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they start renaming some of these conferences, since, again, none of the names seem to make as much sense anymore, except I guess the SEC is still contiguous states are pretty
Why
much
is
in it.
Vanderbilt there?
We don't want.
Geography?
I mean, I don't want Oklahoma. I don't want Texas. I don't want Vanderbilt. I don't want Missouri. I mean,
Hey,
I was
nothing wrong with Missouri.
I'm sorry. Sorry to Katie. I know, but anyway,
But didn't they win the SEC East the first 2 or 3 years they came in?
Okay, well, let's move forward.
Whoop, whoop.
Anyway, what's the next segment?
They did, but I guess talking about other things. You said you were against the 12-team playoff. Why is that, Bert?
4 teams is it. I mean, until a 5 to 12 seed wins the whole
I do
thing.
like the 12-team playoff. It sounds like there's going to be less bitching.
Okay, you go ahead.
Gordon, wait. You're next.
Until
All right,
a
hold on, I
5 to
got my
12
hand up.
5 to 12 team wins the whole thing. UCF from a couple years ago. Oregon State as a fill-in from the Pac-2. Whatever it is, until they win the whole thing, I just don't feel like that. I feel like it's too many teams. I feel like 6 teams is the maximum, but that's just me. I thought 4 teams the last few years did it. That was good.
What about you,
What's the
Gordon?
difference between this and basketball?
Basketball's got 68 or 72, however many teams they got before they come down. But I guess the bigger thing for me is
Nobody's bitching about the winner in basketball.
No, but again,
It's a different game. It's a totally different game.
Yeah, they use like a Stewie head football versus a basketball.
The lower divisions have been doing this for a long time. So, again, it's one of those that I think it's a natural progression. It's just with all the bigger schools and everything else. But, to use your argument, like about a 5 seed or whatever, hell, last year, Georgia would have been a 6 seed. And I still
Right.
think we would have rolled through everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we'd have been favored in almost every one of the games. So,
And that's a good point. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope a 10 seed wins the whole thing. Even this year. If as long as we're at a 10 seed. But I hope I'm wrong. But I just feel like it's all for money. And when we expanded and added Missouri and Texas A&M to the SEC, it was about TV markets, and it wasn't. The presidents made the argument of the expanded season and the student athletes. They have exams. Well, that was bullshit. So here we are. It's about money and making money, and I just hope the playoffs are still entertaining and not just 70 to 3 routes.
yeah. I mean, again, it's going to have the opportunity for that. I mean, it's going to give the extra game on campus for 4 teams, which will be
That's true. That's a
nice.
good point. Yeah.
But I mean, that'll bring more local money to them. But I mean, I think the other part of it for me still is the whole keeping everybody interested up a lot longer. So I mean, you're going to have a 2-loss team that's still going to. I mean, we'll probably have multiple 2-loss teams that are going to potentially be in the playoffs this year, and making it so those teams hang on longer. You have less kids that are declaring for the NFL and not gonna play in the games, like the whole fiasco with Florida State and everything last year too.
That sucks.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's going to be interesting to see. But I mean, I still want to know. I mean, did they already say it's going to be 14 teams next year, or was that still?
It is expanding. I can't remember the number of teams, but
I think they're doing it.
there's going to be a corrective course. You're right. There's going to be a time where they're like, this isn't working for the game. And the money, but we'll see. Maybe we're wrong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. That's my wife.
just not very often. But I mean, again, so you got a big game like you had this past weekend with Georgia Tech and Florida State. And I mean,
right.
A couple years ago, Florida State, I mean, again, as much as crying as they did back with the Orange Bowl, I mean, they'd be crying even more now, and probably on the outside looking in at a potential championship, but I mean, or a playoff berth. But now they've still got the opportunity to be able to be a 1-loss ACC team if they can run the rest of the way and still have a chance to get in the playoffs. But
who?
Yeah,
Florida State.
No, they're like 17th place in the ACC right now.
They are. That was an interesting point because they're the first team to be 17th place in an official
but they
ACC.
could beat Boston College on Monday and be right back in the middle.
I got Boston College on that one.
You got Boston College on that one.
Well, we'll get the picks in a minute.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a weird. You're right, Dan. It's a weird time, and I mean, I think it's going to be different for us as fans to go through the season week to week because we're used to saying, okay, well, Georgia went on the road and beat Bama. They're going to the SEC championship game. Well, now if you don't go to the SEC championship game, then you still have a pretty good shot at making the playoffs. So it's going to be different.
Yeah, because that's the other part. It's the whole other part of the conversation where it's like, are you better off not making it to your conference championship game if you still got just the 1 or 2 really high quality losses, I guess, or against really strong opponents where you're still going to get in the playoffs and get more rest before then you potentially would host a playoff game on your home campus. And then that team that goes to the championship game and loses it, they're playing an extra game that other teams don't necessarily have to play. That's just going to be, again, one of the weird twists with it all. Because loser of a championship game is going to probably have to play 1 extra game if they make an actual run to win a national championship than anybody else that would have to play.
So how many games is that total from start to finish for the champion?
Well, it's 12 regular season. If they get to their conference champion,
15?
that's their 13th. The conference champion gets a bye, so they would have to play 3 more games. So it would be 16 total games, I guess. But I think the conference loser potentially, if they did it, they'd have to win 17 games.
That is a lot of abuse.
Yeah,
So it's mid to late January.
it's a full NFL season.
Jeez.
Because, I mean, the playoffs start the weekend of, I think, December 20th. And then the New Year's 6 bowl games were are going to be that not the home ones, but the first round after that, where the teams that got the byes, they'll be the home teams in those the first 4 games, and then winners of those 2 will go to the semifinal games, which then will go till I think it's January 20th or something like that, where you're going to have the championship game.
Yeah, so I think going to week 1 is just obvious a big adjustment for the conferences and the higher ups, but it's also a big adjustment for fans. I mean, we have to go week to week and really rethink, really redo how we think week to week about the games that we play and whether we win or lose and what that really means. Because, like you said, Nama, it's a team can, especially in the SEC, can lose a big game. We could lose to Alabama, but still beat Texas and Clemson, and maybe Ole Miss late in the season and still be in great shape to maybe host a game or maybe not host a game. But like you said, rest their players and not go to the SEC championship.
Yeah. Because, it's going to be even more on conditioning. So, to be able to make it through that long a season, the injury thing and how deep you are, it plays even a bigger role. It's always been important, but it's probably even more important this year going into such an expanded playoff format. But
yeah.
Why do you guys have UMass before Thanksgiving? How'd they score that one?
You got to play somebody non-conference, and UMass needed a paycheck.
Well, I guess they could rest their starters.
Idaho State wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's because they're booked. Bitches.
I'm sure we'll circle back to that at some point. But moving on to your lock of the week. I guess, Cord, you already given us your lock of the week.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's like a sure thing. Like Barney's mom's tomato pie. You can't beat that.
Good call.
Oh my goodness! All right,
13.5 points against Clemson.
Easy money.
Unless Kirby starts his 3rd string and keeps him in there and then goes to 5th string. I don't know.
Which I have it on good authority. That's not going to happen.
Stranger thing. Yeah, I would think Kirby is ready to get him tore up.
Yeah. I agree. I think this is the game that he wants to have. I have a blog post ready later this week that this is what Kirby wants. He wants a big game to start out with, like Oregon a couple years ago, and just kind of bounce off that. But I would also add, I'm looking at Georgia Southern plus 13. Boise State is going all the way to fucking Statesboro to play Georgia
Boise
Southern.
State is?
Yeah, in August. And I hearkened back. I was with some Georgia State fans or Georgia Southern fans this weekend, and was reminding them that when they came to Athens in 2006,
wait, you're talking about Boise State?
Boise State Broncos.
Smurf turf.
They could not handle the heat. I mean, they were done before they got off the bus. And
it's hot in Idaho right now, but they're supposed to be good this year.
They are, and they're a dark horse to make the playoffs. But 13 points is a lot in Statesboro, so that's another one I'm looking at as well. What you got, Nama?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good one. But again, I think I'd probably roll with Georgia as well. But if we would want to do something a little bit different, got was it LSU and USC?
Yep.
I think and what is LSU is only favored by 3 in that game.
4. I got 4.5.
4.5.
That's Sunday night.
Man, Lincoln Riley, I don't know. I mean, he is so damn overrated. He is so damn overrated. I mean, I think LSU is going to go out there and roll them too. So, I mean,
yeah, that's in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. So, I know it's one of those where, LSU's replacing a whole bunch of people, but Brian Kelly's actually, as much with his fake Southern accent and everything else, he's actually started to,
family.
Again, they don't got to play defense. They're just going to play a bunch of offense, and hopefully they can bring in and brought in some extra players on the defensive side where that might actually slow somebody down. But, again, Lincoln Riley can't seem to find a way to win a big game. So, I think I'd take LSU.
I'm with you there, too.
But anyway, getting to this weekend too. Again, one of the biggest parts of a football weekend is food. So food and drinking. But
wait.
What?
Georgia Southern.
Yes.
Boise State's going to Georgia Southern?
Yes.
Yes, they're going to Statesboro.
It's almost like Bernie said that.
Goodness. Who
They will
booked
win that game.
schedule?
I
They
don't know
will
who's
win that
getting,
game.
who's getting paid in that game too. So I mean,
Well,
goodness.
hell, like Missouri is going to UMass.
Yes.
They're going up there.
I don't know. I don't know how Drink let that happen.
And again,
I don't know how Drink let that happen.
why, I'm sorry, Katie. I know, Nama, you love her. But
Yep.
why are they in the SEC? They're going to UMass. Yeah, Boise State is going to Statesboro, Georgia.
Yeah. Whew. I don't like even saying Boise State after those uniforms we trotted out that one year in the dome.
Oh God. Anyway, let's move
What?
forward.
What happened?
No, we're
Did you have a different game, Cord, you want to talk about? It was just you still going back to Boise State.
We're moving on
I
to
was
food
looking
court.
on here, and it says Ole Miss against Akron, but I don't know if that's correct. I thought they had Furman. Friday,
Oh.
August 30th, Saturday, August 31st.
refresh.
All right, we're getting back to
Georgia
tailgate.
Tech, Georgia Tech 20.5 over Georgia State. Oh, that's easy.
Who are you taking?
Tech versus Georgia State.
Yeah.
They'll beat them by 20 points.
I don't know. It's time for a classic letdown. They got Del McGee rolling up into Georgia State.
Yeah, I bet Del McGee has them ready, but I'm staying away from that game for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd be putting much money on it. But I mean, again, Georgia Tech expended all that mental energy and also had that international trip coming back and, relatively speaking, have a
I
short
mean,
week.
they might still be over there doing
Yeah.
algorithms with Dublin, Irish whiskey and Irish Guinness, and you just never know.
LSU's a lock. They're gonna kill USC. They got Fresno State going to Michigan.
Yes.
What?
Wow. It's like you just found the internet.
Yeah. So this is the part where Cord is caught up with the broadcast. So
No. I don't pay attention
We
to stuff
just-
till game time.
you started this whole segment, Cord, with the lock
Yeah,
of the week.
but
You
they're
said
not
the
even
dogs,
a
but,
line item. Otherwise, the Beavers would have been lock of the week
Okay,
by
Idaho State.
a minus 121.
they're the Vandals, right? The Idaho State Vandals.
I think so.
No, I thought they're the Bengals.
Oh, they are the Bengals. Oh yeah. I think Idaho.
The Vandals.
Yeah. Idaho
I
State.
know, Bernie. Potato.
Is that the whole
That's
Idaho
all I'm
joke?
saying. They're all tater tots to you.
Oh, speaking of tater
All right,
tots.
now what you cooking?
I'm going to be probably making some of those Cheddar Bay biscuit sausage balls. Man, those things are good, baby.
Hey, Red Lobster went bankrupt, bro.
Hey, man.
Not yet.
Maybe they'll be one of our sponsors after this, especially after hearing all your nuggets of
Yeah,
wisdom.
we
Well,
lost
yeah,
Delta.
good luck with
Thank you, earbuds.
No, I'll probably have those, and then trying to decide I'm going to throw something on the smoker. But that early kickoff, that's one of those things too. It's just hard to get a bunch of stuff ready for that. So do something maybe after it as well. But how about you, Bernie?
So I think we're gonna smoke some wings to snack on during the game, and then I'm gonna do some cheese steak, grilled cheese sandwiches for the late nights.
Mm.
Cord? Pack on the calories, getting ready for that big season. What you got, Cord?
Cord, you still plan on coming over, right?
Oh, wait, Saturday?
Yes.
What time is that?
I got the
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Game is at
Noon kickoff.
Noon? That's outrageous.
on a Saturday.
Yeah,
wow.
I think I'll be there.
What are you taking?
I gotta get some ribs Saturday morning, and then I'm smoking them Sunday.
That has nothing to do with Saturday.
But what are you taking to Namas?
You gonna bring some?
Just yourself?
What are you giving me to bring? I'll bring my football.
Okay, bring your football. Bring some beer. We still got some.
Oh! I got something for you. I got some beer from Oxford for you.
Nice.
Oh, what is it?
Hot and hazy from Circle and Black Brewery,
Okay.
Nice.
Is that a
right
local
across
micro?
from the courtyard.
Really? That one there.
In between the courtyard and campus. And I went in there last time, and I opened the door, and I could smell they were cooking. You know that smell you get when you're boiling grain?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you guys are brewing today, aren't you? I was like, yep.
All right.
Intoxicating.
Speaking of brewing, we still got a white ale on tap.
10-3. I texted you guys last night.
10-3.
Wait, what?
What?
I texted y'all.
Well, we had a lot of text last night, Fred.
Yeah. But anyway.
10 and,
I only had one.
10 and 3?
Anyway.
That was for you.
Oh, like October 3rd?
Yeah, that was for you to remind me what that was for.
Oh, I don't really remember. But your birthday is tomorrow, right?
That's totally irrelevant.
And you'll be
The church wants to buy a keg for October 3rd.
Oh, okay.
all he texted was 10/3.
Well,
and man, you're supposed to know that means the church wants beer.
I don't need to embellish. You guys should know.
Well, it didn't have a
Anyway,
fire
this-
and beaver emojis.
This is a good time to
So we
remind
need to make
everybody
like two IPA
we're-
kegs for 10-3.
we're sponsored by Beaver Dog Brews.
Yes, Beaver Dog Brews, making good beer since, well, or sometimes good beer since what,
Do we have any
2005,
sponsors yet that pay?
2015.
No, that's why we're here, Cord.
All right.
I did all this for free.
Yeah. Well, again, especially after this, we might be the only one we do because it'll be for free. Because I mean, Lord forbid.
That's it. We're one and done.
So yeah,
It's a smoky whore beer
There we
we
go.
made.
Yeah, that was. I think that was that was Brew Depot's fault. That wasn't our fault.
no, that was not our
Okay.
fault.
Well, no, whoever got that oversmoked malt from.
Yeah, it was either them or the wine workshop. But hey, let's not drag them down right now. We might be able to get some free grains out of this after all.
Well, it was what 10 years ago.
Ooh, I was like second on a campfire. Whew. But anyway.
Yeah, that was brutal.
All right. Well, I think it's as good a time as any to go ahead and wrap this thing up. So,
I never drunk a cigarette until that day.
so again, hopefully we'll see how our pick. Hopefully we'll come back next week. We'll see if Court has as many technical difficulties.
If we don't,
It might be fourth and 2 weeks. But
Yeah, I'm
could
working
make-
on it.
make the divorce cord.
Hey, why don't you just get AI to do me?
That's
But
what she
anyway.
said.
all right. Well, that's it for now. But anyway, thanks, and hopefully we'll see you again for episode 2.
Go dogs, go beavers.
Go Dogs, go.
All right, how do I hang up?
I think you know how to do that.